No, but okay. My question for you though is like, is your position that it's it's simply not okay to provide like an open system where people are challenged to figure out how to do it on their own, like that. So what you're saying is that like in any situation like this, the approach that you take should be prescribed from the top down.
I think there should be an ethic. The prize money, the basket of $500,000. It's it's $500,000, Kevin. And yeah, I think that there should be some expectation of support, and there's ways of doing it that it doesn't mean like, look, if I want to spend $100,000 to get a piece to a ArtPrize, right? And I'm in New York. I'm in like ring number 2. No venue would be asked to pay more than $600, right? That's just an arbitrary number. But, pay an amount that says, okay, this covers the artist moving from point A to point B to being housed in, like I know that you've got this thing where you can set up and you can get guest housing. I think that's really cool. Clearly you've got businesses interested in catering to the artists, to show that, I can spend as much as I want. It's an open system. But there is an expectation that the artist can turn in receipts for up to $600 because he's in ring C. Or he's in ring D. He's coming from Turkey. He can turn in receipts up to $1,600. Just some sort of if in ring A, if it's coming from Grand Rapids, nothing has to be done.
Right. I mean, there's a couple things. There's a couple things there. I mean, one of the reasons that we keep things really simple and open is that because it is a competition, it's important that it's just fair. That we're not providing support for some artists and not others in kind of like in a weighted way. So there's that. But I think what's even more important than that, though, is that it's driven by the idea that if you encourage people to take risks and to experiment in an open and unrestricted fashion, somebody will come up with a better solution than a prescriptive top-down. And that if there are venues that are shitty or that don't treat their artists right, as the event ages, artists won't go back to them. And as I've done this for a couple of years now, and I'm talking to artists that have done it repeatedly, and then even ones who did it for the first time last year, but just kind of did their homework. It's interesting because there's a lot of intelligence that they bring to it that doesn't come from us. It just comes from either past experience or from the community and the wealth of knowledge that's been built around it. And so people coming into the event, from Chicago, and they don't really even know the city that well, they already have an idea of which venues they want to show in and which venues they won't show in. And I think that's, it's kind of sad for the venues that they've ruled out, but in the same way, I'm actually pretty happy about that. Because I think that what that indicates is that artists are learning to navigate the terrain that exists. And we do whatever we can to provide assistance and to help them out with that. But it's important to us that we're not, in the same way that we're not curating who gets in the show from the top down, we're also not going to be controlling and prescriptive about exactly